And the teams are to play as they were in the second half, which is Manchester United defending the goal to our right. Marshall, whose goal brought about the extra time, and certainly over the 90 minutes, Oldham did not deserve to lose. Milligan gets Oldham going again. Demands on fitness, demands on nerve, and fortune, always a major factor. Here's Holden, gets the cross again, Redfern the nod down, Marshall blocked in front of his goalkeeper by Steve Bruce. Bruce and Leighton were almost in the same boot then. Ritchie seems to have recovered from his knock. He got just at the end of the 90 minutes. Brave header by Barrett, which was costly. He stayed down. Away goes Warhurst. He is pretty quick, but not the most accurate of crosses. Hughes. Bruce's head. Gibson's foot, only to Barrett, who's recovered from the knock. Ritchie. Showed too much. Nicked away by McClare. Useful for Wallace. Test of his pace, now test of his finish. And he's equal to both. Face of delight is lost in the crowd. A fine ball through the finish as the goalkeeper came somewhat feet first was what was required. Burst through two defenders and Manchester United lead 3-2.
Great ball from Brian McClare. Once again, Oldham trying to hold the line, and Danny Wallace, with that extra pace, just timed his run perfectly. Got through against the goalkeeper. Didn't hit the shot that well. He scuffed it a bit, but I'm sure he's not complaining, because once it went past Hallberg, even though it was going very slowly, it was always going to make the goal.
Well, certainly some repayment of £1.2 million. Scored a fine goal at Newcastle, you remember, and has now put United back in front. Gibson. Redfern. Warhurst. Barlow. Not the best of passes by Barlow. Marshall. Oldham led, Manchester United equalised, United went in front, Oldham equalised. Now United ahead again. All their matches on the road to Wembley, and they've all been away from home. This is the nearest they've been to home, playing on the ground of Manchester City. Have been won by the odd goal. 1-0 at Forest, 1-0 at Hereford, 3-2 at Newcastle, 1-0 at Sheffield United. Can Joe Royle's team bring an end to that sequence? Hughes from McClare's pass again. And the free kick could have been given against Hughes, but the referee decides to let play continue, having acknowledged the linesman's signal. Martin. Milligan gets hold of it. Ritchie can't hold it in. And the last card to be played by Oldham Athletic, and it's the former Manchester City player who is to be brought into the fray. Roger Palmer takes over from Andy Ritchie, who battled away all through, took several knocks, only his second game back after a long time out with a groin injury. Like Brian Robson, the demands of the contest in the end proving too much. And here's Palmer's first touch. Holden. Always looked to hold the key at the start. Couldn't even find the door for much of the match, but latterly has had quite an influence. Good challenge. Andy Ritchie so much wanted to beat his old side, not from a point of view of revenge, but having been the 13th man and having lost in the semi-final when he played for Leeds United, felt that the fate should be kind to him. They might still be, but without him for the rest of this one. Won by Holden. And here's Palmer with Pallister. Well played, Pallister. Holden timed his move forward very well indeed. Near Webb. That's Horwitz via the head of Barlow. First 7 minutes of the first period of extra time. 15 each way, extra time. Earl Barrett. Kicked by Gibson. Bit of a hand-off by Holden, but Hughes maybe made more of it than there was. Good ball in by Owen, who gets it back. Oh, it's a poor cross. Pity for Oldham because he was well placed, and so were three runners in the middle.
Unusual with Dennis Irwin because he is a very good attacking fullback, had an excellent season as well in all their cup runs and their push to try and get in the playoffs and promotion. But at the moment, test of character really, Oldham. This is their 54th game. It's asking a lot. They've battled back to get equal in the 90 minutes, now going behind in extra time. You just wonder whether they can lift themselves. Joe Roll likes to switch things around. You wonder whether he's put an extra one of his backmans up front in the second period of extra time, perhaps.
Ince to Wallace and back to Ince. Good switch by Ince to get the ball in front of him again. Mike Phelan offside against Gibson, I think. Webb's header. Holden offside against both Palmer and Marshall. Still the anxiety lingers. Still the edge is sharp. Trying to lift Oldham, but they're making mistakes with their passing. which seems to be born of fatigue. Both managers down on the touchline. I think Joe Royle has had one of his wishes come true, because his side has certainly proved to any doubters that they are a very good side, and that their success is not down just to the fact that they have a different pitch from other people's. They've played well here, Trevor.
Well, I think sometimes they've been unfairly suggested, you know, the artificial pitch, which, when you think back of that unbeaten run, what, 30-odd games, they did know how to play on it, there's no question. But despite that, they are a very good side. They've proved it today, and in Barrett and Milligan, they've got two players who really are First Division quality.
Hold up is because Lee Martin, I think, has a bit of cramp. I hope it's nothing more serious than that. There's Danny Wallace, whose goal divides the teams. Manchester United support all around the ground are celebrating the victory, but they should perhaps learn from recent history. Only earlier in the day, Crystal Palace were down 3-2 to Liverpool and won. It's Mark Robbins, the last of the substitutes. Clearly feeling it. It's got a bit of a dead leg, I think. That's an awkward cross. It's well claimed. I think it was intended as a cross. It became rather a testing shot.
Joe Royle actually has pushed Neil Redfern just in the picture there, just behind the front two. So he has switched tactics a little bit, trying to get extra men forward.
Here's Holden. Away from Phelan, punched by Leighton. Bannister was rather in his way, and the free kick is to United. It's Neil Webb who's down. I think it's only cramp again.
We're waiting to thinking about bringing Mark Robbins on. I suppose they've got to wait and see. Here we can see on this particular cross, didn't quite get his punch. Jim Leighton, there it is, blowing about, and Neil Redfern getting his arm up early, and a free kick. And just, I think as he jumped up, Neil Webb, the pushing off action brought on the cramp. And Alex Ferguson probably saying, how is he, before he decides who comes off and if Mark Robbins comes off.
Rollins still has to wait. Webb is okay. Meantime, Martin seems to be moving rather better than he was a few moments ago. Martin has been pushed a bit forward, with Gibson dropping to his old position at left back. Sort of left midfield, come slightly further forward, with Gibson solid there at left back. Barlow. Just got to keep up the quality of their passing, Oldham, which is increasingly difficult as they're playing not only against Manchester United but against time.
All cat and mouse at the moment tactically, because Alex Ferguson, seeing Redfern switched, has decided to bring Neil Webb back from his forward position, and you could see him right back, just about thinking about taking that free kick, but he's playing very deep now, doing a marking job himself.
Won by Holden. Warhurst to Barlow. A long clearance perhaps from Holworth, who's very capable of them, as Aston Villa know to their cost. Won by Webb. Holden. Redfern. Irwin is up in the attack. Milligan. Palmer. Milligan. Nice touch. Redfern. Not such a good touch. Still feel that if Oldham to save themselves, it's this fellow who'll be the supplier. Rick Holden. Appeal for handball, not given. Oh, mistake by Phelan. Ince wins a wrestling match that followed. And Hughes and Holden, free kick. Won't count, even if it had gone in. Holden, I think, found the back of his ankle stepped on, or at least interfered with. And we're almost at half-time and extra time, and Leighton saves his team. Phelan, this is not all over yet. Ince. Wallace. Good ball by Ince. Martin is the other side coming in, number 2. And Barrett gets there just ahead of him. Crowd whistling for the half-time whistle of extra time. Oh, lovely control by Warhurst. This is Milligan. Palmer makes the diagonal run and finds Irwin, who needs a good cross and doesn't get it. Twice he's been well placed, Irwin, and has disappointed himself and his team. Now a third chance. Oh dear. Oh, you feel for him.
They say they're coming 3, so he's got that one out of his system. Next one, hopefully, will be all right. But Oldham still pushing forward, and certainly Man United. Steve Coppell probably watching this game back home, wondering if he's going to meet his old club Manchester United in the final. Can't relax right up until that final whistle.
The final substitution is to be made. On comes Mark Robbins, scorer of the goal which started United on the road to Wembley against Nottingham Forest, and he's replaced Lee Martin. It's half-time in extra time. Well, I said, Trevor, it's not all over yet. In spite of the goal that Wallace scored, a fine ball from Brian McClare. Not the cleanest of side foots, but clean enough. And Oldham have 15 minutes left to save themselves. Booked to Wembley already in the Littlewoods Cup. Come back to square it at 2-2. Can they do it? A 3-3. Hughes and Barrett. Oof. Starts with showing a bit from Mr. Robbins. Marshall has to chase his own pass and does, and is fouled. And Pallister got a knock after that, quite inadvertently, I think. He seemed to get a boot in the face.
Still out, Gary Pallister, as you say, it takes the time, but I think just then he seems to be all right. Then he just must have felt and slumped down, and must have been a knock because he's still motionless lying there, and course, a bit worried because Alex Ferguson has just brought Mark Robbins on. Lee Martin was unable to continue, so they haven't got a substitute to replace him. But at the moment, still lying there, smelling salts and everything, not working.
Good shouts from the dugout for Manchester United. Archie knocks down there. And I think Pallister is coming round. Now Owen, who couldn't find the crosses, can he now find the free kick? Met well by Pallister. That's what you call a good recovery. Milligan. Yes, the space here for Marshall. And Palmer's far side. It's all square again. This is the stuff of schoolboy comics. Palmer. It was a fine ball from Milligan that put Marshall away, and Oldham have come back again. Marvellous stuff.
Well, if you said this was going to happen today, I mean, it's really fairy tale stuff. Manchester United pushed out, tried to play offside. It was Stevie Bruce who was the last man. And look at Joe Royle there. I think he's rather enjoyed that equaliser.
I think you may have just made one of the understatements of the year, Travis Brooking. 3-3. Warhurst. Is the feat of Crystal Palace to be emulated? Warhurst has stayed down, and as the ball crosses the halfway line, Joe Royle whistles for Warhurst to get some attention. That was the challenge. And the noise suddenly starts to grow from the Oldham end. The Manchester United support who are enjoying the sunshine, not enjoying yet another Oldham Athletic comeback.
Looks as if he's hurt. Warhurst got it hurt his shoulder as he fell on the hard ground. Because when we had the last long stop for injury to Pallister, it was on that occasion where Manchester United just went a little bit to sleep their concentration, and he half cleared it, and that's when Milligan played that through ball to Marshall. And there's Palmer, played for most of this season, sitting on the bench, no doubt enjoying the game, and who was to think he was going to come on and become an instant hero?
Well, he's their record scorer, and that one will be pretty high on the list of those he's achieved. It was a simple tap-in. The killer ball was the one played by Milligan. It was instantly played through, and it set Marshall away and Palmer to equalise. Warhurst to carry on now. Here's Wallace. Holden times the challenge to perfection. Quite a lot of injury time to be added, but we're inside the last 10 minutes. Not accounting for that. Redfern, Pallister. And I can only think that Holden spotted a greyhound on the pitch, but I didn't see one, and his teammates didn't respond. Hughes. Good header, Barrett. Feet were high from both players, Hughes and Milligan. First timer away by Barlow. Webb. Ince. Still very sprightly. McClare. Warhurst. Redfern. Andy Barlow. Redfern, Warhurst, Redfern with a shooting chance! And it went, well, to tell the truth, it always looked likely to go.
So they've just got an extra yard of pace again, haven't they, Oldham, that equaliser, and it's Manchester United who suddenly 3-2 up and looking to be in control, are looking a little bit tired, and I think perhaps hoping for the final whistle a bit more than Oldham.
Wallace, Phelan, Sun causing a few problems. Webb takes it away. Oh, they had two men over, McClare! Oh, and he blasted when he needed control. Two United to one Oldham, and then up came McClare. Hit it hard, but hit it high. Webb. Forcing nerve and sinew, not a bad cross. Oh! And for a moment, Horwood juggled with the header from Robbins. Milligan. The countdown is on 7 and still going. Pallister. Barrett trying to force him wide. Up comes Gibson. Loses to Warhurst. Robbins. Ince. Robbins wants the return. Offside against Hughes.
Well, little Mark Robbins nearly became back on the goal sheet again. I can remember at Nottingham Forest, then Newcastle. He popped up on our live games and netted. And there he was again. He's a little fella, but great cross from Neil Webb. Got his head to it, and it was a good save by John Hallward.
Hughes trying to turn Holden. It's out to Wallace. Robbins is forward, so is Webb. Robbins! McClare. Good header by Holden, although it comes down to Phelan, appeal for handball, which it wasn't. And away goes Holden. Pulsating finish. Ince. Arguably Manchester United's man of the match, Paul Ince. Offside flag against a Neil Webb near to exhaustion. There's a greater confidence in the cry of the Oldham supporters. We're into the last 5 minutes, plus some injury time. It's bobbling around, and Warhurst decided to take a swing. Well, big conversation before the match concerned the first semi-final, and people were saying, well, they can never manage that. Manchester managed to live up to that, Manchester United and Oldham. They certainly have. Good challenge. The first semi-final brought decision. Will this without a replay? Owen, forward for Milligan. Never really looked on. McClare. Holden. Milligan. Owen. Marshall chasing, good covering header from Pallister. Jim Leighton joins in the applause. Barrett.